When scientists wanted to prove something like smoking causes cancer, they were in kind of a bind. They couldn't do an experiment. They couldn't break people up into two random groups, give half of them cigarettes and half of them not, and see who developed cancer. They had to come up with some other methods. So a scientist named Bradford published his criteria for establishing causation. So the first criterion is temporality. So the cause A happens before the outcome B. Plausibility, is there a theory? Can you explain why A causes B? Consistency, does A seem to cause B across different groups of people, different locations, different observational studies? Strength, so is there a strong association between A happening and then B being observed? Dose-response relationship is whether the outcome increases with greater exposure to the cause. Specificity, does the only thing that seems to cause the outcome is that A? Experiments, those are the strongest support for causation. So we will get into randomized controlled trials and how they differ from other kinds of experimental designs later. Coherence, does it fit with the things we already know? And then analogy, is there some analogy that can be drawn between some other cause and some other outcome? So consider the case of acupuncture for migraines. So for a long time, people who did acupuncture, people who believed in acupuncture, knew that if they got acupuncture, there was this temporal relationship. After acupuncture, there was less pain. Plausibility, the challenge there was before studies were done, the explanation was that inserting needles into meridians in the body restores the body's natural flow of qi, balancing your yin and yang. There wasn't any consistency in terms of how the acupuncture was implemented or how it was tested. And people had not established any sort of strength or dose response. There was not specificity. There was lots of claims for acupuncture working for lots of different conditions. There wasn't coherence and there wasn't an analogy. However, more recently, we still have that temporality relationship. People who get acupuncture experience fewer migraines. There's a plausible explanation. So inserting the needles causes a release of endorphins, which reduce pain. Consistency, there has been mixed results in observational studies. There's not been a strength of association or a dose response, so the amount of acupuncture you get further reducing migraines, for example. Specificity, there are specific treatments of how to implement the acupuncture and how to evaluate for the migraines. As I said, with experiments, there have been mixed results. Coherence, however, the endorphins explanation does fit with our existing physiological knowledge, and we do have an analogy in the sense that something like massage also releases endorphins and has similar pain relieving effects.